Hello, hello out there. I hope that you are having a great weekend. I'm Tomas Garza, and I welcome you to A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. Yeah, I hope that you're having a great weekend out there. And while I wait for people to hop on the feed here, I'm going to bring up the live stream and then we'll get into the idea for the day, which you can see at the top is lesson 154 in the workbook. I am among the ministers of God. I have a lot to say about this one. And I hope that you may take some inspiration from this because these ideas in the workbook for students are designed to get us to go deep with ourselves. This is a spiritual channel, Enlightened World Network. This is A Course in Miracles. This is what you're here for, is it not? To go deep. There's a lot of other content on YouTube. I have two teenagers. I know this. And they watch some of it and they excitedly and gleefully, happily show me some of the stuff that's out there. And yeah, I'm not sure that you're into that, but maybe you are. And whatever it is, you could be watching anything else. So I want to invite you as you spend the next 15 to 20 minutes here with me, with all of us watching worldwide, because this is literally a worldwide broadcast. I want to invite you to go deep with yourself and pay attention to what resonates for you, what applies to you. There is a message here for you today. There is every day. So this is all that I could hope for or ever want, is that you take all of this to heart and go deep with yourself. That's why you're watching Enlightened World Network, after all, with all the other content. You know, I'm thinking of multiple other nouns that I won't utter here on EWN. There's a lot of other stuff out there that you could be doing, but you're choosing spirituality. You're choosing your own walk. You're choosing your own calling. You're hearing the calling, and you are in the midst of responding. You're answering. And for that, I thank you. And we all thank you. So the idea for today is lesson 154. I am among the ministers of God. Do you doubt this? Well, you might. You might, especially when you're having a bad day, especially when you get carried away in day-to-day life or become overwrought with guilt, with sadness, with anger, with thoughts of limitation, right? And yet here you are, actively engaged in spirituality, which you now know and recognize is the answer. It is the answer to every supposed problem that we believe we've created. And it sure seems like an intricate web sometimes, does it not? Each and every one of us is among the ministers of God. That doesn't matter what you call yourself. It doesn't matter how you hold yourself out in the world. You don't have to call yourself teacher, coach, counselor, minister, pastor, rabbi, imam, lama. Yeah, you don't have to call yourself anything like that. We are all ministers for God. Why? We're always teaching. So the commentary today in the course, which I encourage you to read, and again, a reminder that you don't have to actually have the physical book of A Course in Miracles in order to get full benefit from this, because all of this is available online. So if you're curious about this, then I invite you to look this information up. And when you do, spend some time with it, because in the next few minutes, I'm just going to hit the highlights. That's all. So as a messenger, we have an idea about what a messenger is in the world, don't we? And there's also the long-standing, time-honored, historical heed the message, kill the messenger trope. Yeah. As a messenger in the world, we have an idea of someone who simply delivers a message. He or she simply delivers a message from the one sending it to the receiver. This can take any number of forms. I used to be this messenger. I used to be involved in high-level dispute resolution and mediation. What you may not know about me is that I have a law degree, and, well, I chose a different path in life. I'm deeply relaxed and gratified by that, in case you were wondering. But I spent 13 years in some high-level mediation, which meant a lot of brokered mediation, a lot of back and forth between two parties who could not be in the same room with one another. So it's tell him such and such, tell her such and such, and mine was to deliver the message. That's one example of a messenger the way the world sees it. Now, in A Course in Miracles, there is a major difference. With us as messengers for God, we understand first that the message is for us first. Here's the way that this all works and how it's different and how it's deepened. All right, in the conventional messenger sense, like a courier, you simply deliver someone's message to someone else. It's not for you as the messenger. The message of the Holy Spirit, of God, Jesus, source, is for you first. What happens is we allow, if we're willing, when we're willing, no matter when that time may come, we allow ourselves to accept the message. We recognize it as for us, and we accept it. Then, as the messenger, we give it away. We accept it as for us and give it away. We extend it. I've talked about extending love throughout this live stream, and I will talk about it many more times in the future. What we do is we accept the message for ourselves, then give it away. When other people accept it, we'll know that we have that. It's showing us that we have the strength that we're giving away. Now, I'll throw this in there as well. We've always had it. You are not broken. If you take nothing out of today's live stream but that, just know that you are not broken. None of us ever has been broken, despite all of the craziness that the ego shows us. And it's pretty crazy, isn't it? Up, down, the world constantly shifting, and yeah, all kinds of things blowing up in our face, seemingly. In the midst of all of that, who we are has never changed. We are not broken. We are the Son of God. All of us. No exception. There is no separation of any kind in truth, and we're awakening to that. You might call it reawakening. And whatever tradition you may follow, it is simply the way that it is. You are not broken. Isn't that a relief? Isn't that wonderful? And does that not make you feel deep down powerful and good about yourself? I hope that it does, because we clobber ourselves in the world. We beat ourselves up. We're too much of this, too little of that. There's almost always in the world a profound sense of lack underlying everything. So, isn't it a wonderful relief to know, to sit with the idea that you are among the ministers of God? You have heard the call. You're watching this. Can't tell me you haven't heard it repeatedly. The question is, will you answer it? Will you answer it today? Will you answer it next month, next year, next lifetime? Eventually, we all will, and you know that. Each of us knows that. We're all among the ministers or messengers of God. It doesn't make any difference what you hold yourself out as in the world as far as a title, right? As far as what you do for work, for a living. I mean, it's a common question. What do you do? And then we maybe sometimes have a ready-made elevator speech answer for that, depending on where we are in that realm, which could be in massive transition, or you could have had the same occupation for 40 years. I don't know, right? I don't know. Everyone's in a different situation on that. But know that you have a calling to awaken, and I know that you've heard it because you're interested in spirituality. It's up to each of us to answer the call. As the Course says, all hear the call, few answer. In fact, everyone will answer. And the sooner you answer, the lighter and happier you will be. And the lighter and happier everyone that you touch and impact will be. Worldwide. Minds are joined. In other words, we're all one. That is the underlying truth. So we're invited with each and every workbook idea to sit with this idea and practice this idea, even if it means simply reciting it to yourself and then sitting quietly for a few seconds. That is a powerful practice. When we do this, we're reminding ourselves of the truth. We're reminding ourselves of who we really are. That is the practice of spirituality. It's a reawakening. It's an awakening to love. That's who we are and what we are. Yeah. So, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Kim and Norma, hello. How are you? Thank you for watching here with me. If either of you or anyone else watching has any comments or questions, feel welcome to leave them in the comment thread right here, because this is something that I love to do, is interact with you. And it does not make any difference if you catch me live or if you're watching the replay, because I do check the comments from time to time throughout the day. So let me, before we wrap up here, just comment that we'll be continuing next week in the workbook for students. My wife, Cindy, and I have a road trip planned, and we're leaving on Monday. So my next scheduled live stream here on Enlightened World Network will be Wednesday, the 1st of September. I will be on the road, and who knows what Wi-Fi access will look like on the road. So what I'm going to do is sit deeply with this material and have a relaxing road trip. So I will catch all of you in a few days. Comments or questions, please feel welcome to leave them here. And if you'd like to catch some past episodes of this or any show on the network, please feel welcome to visit the YouTube channel for Enlightened World Network. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me here. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you very soon.